Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today I want to go over the latest batch of news for STO on both PC and console. As always, chapters are listed down below. First up, we have a return of the Star Trek Resurgence crossover into Star Trek Online, and the reason that they're bringing this back is because Star Trek Resurgence is just finishing up its one-year exclusivity contract on the Epic Games Store on PC, and they want to bring awareness to it going live on Steam starting tomorrow, May 23rd. So to celebrate, from May 23rd up through June 6th, players on all platforms are going to be able to go into the promotions tab of the Zen store and pick up the Resolute skin for the Miranda. Now, this is just a ship skin. You're not getting a ship with this, so don't go in thinking you're getting a free ship or something. It is just a skin, and you have to own any of the Miranda variants in order to actually use it. So again, that will be in the promotions tab of the Zen store from tomorrow, May 23rd up through June 6th. And that should be on all platforms. And once you have that skin, once you equip it to a Miranda, this is what it's going to look like. You can change the colors on it to whatever you see fit. And of course, it is fully kit bashable with any of the other Miranda skins that you have. So if you don't like how it itself looks, you can at least use those pieces to make your own custom Miranda. And as for Star Trek Resurgence, this is a story-focused game, so if you're looking for a narrative-focused experience, then this might be something you may want to pick up during a future sale. It is from people that previously worked on the Telltale games, so if you know how those games play, it's going to be quite similar to that. So I'll have links to both the Steam and Epic pages for it down below. And of course, if you buy it through the Epic Games Store, I'd appreciate it if you used code CasualSAB at checkout. Next up, there's a bonus marks weekend running from May 23rd up through May 27th for all platforms. So if you're looking to get any rep or fleet marks, this weekend is going to be a very good time to do so. And for those of us on PC, we have a Red Alert event starting up on May 23rd that will be running up through May 30th. And with this being a 1 week long Red Alert, you're going to be getting an Ultimate Tech upgrade and a spec point from it. And a reminder that the Unparalleled season is going to be dropping on PC next Tuesday, May 28th. And for those of you on console, it'll be dropping sometime in the middle of June. Now, as we approach May 28th, we're going to continue to see blogs popping up for all of the new content that the season's going to have. And thus far, we have the TFO announcement for the Borg Battle Royale, and also the blog for the Captain Alteration token. So I want to start off here with the Borg Battle Royale TFO blog. This is a 5-player ground TFO. This is going to be set up similar to Sompek and Kobayashi Maru, and the event version of it, per the initial blog, is going to last for 12 rounds. After the season event ends, there will be an infinite round version of it available. Now, the blog for this is a bit contradictory to that initial announcement. It starts off with a picture of some Borg cubes in space, which seems a bit weird for advertising a ground TFO. And if I scroll down to the bottom here, the top bit is the lore that I'll read in a moment, but the blog at the bottom lists that the event version is going to be ending at level 7, which I think is what Kobayashi Maru and Sompek do also, so some contradictory information between the blogs, but I think it's safe to say it'll probably be ending at level 7. And again, it's set up similar to Kobayashi Maru and the Arena of Sompek. The difference for this versus something like Arena of Sompek is that this is only going to be against the Borg, as the name implies, but it is going to cycle out between the different types of Borg that we've seen throughout the different universes in the current storyline. And it's time for the lore. Now, a reminder that I am terrible at reading this stuff out, so if you want to skip ahead to the next topic, chapter is listed down below with that timestamp. Quote, "It's not enough. Kamarke hunched over a Federation datapad in her quarters on the LSS Ruskava. New Alliance data was downloading every second, and she pored over it, analyzing battle plans and checking supply lines, anything she could get her hands on. Anything to keep her thoughts at bay. She closed her tired eyes for just a moment too long. The Borg drone lurched out of the darkness, and its hand was on her throat, and the wires shot out from its arm, and she was one of them. There was no Kamarke, there was only us. She snapped back to reality. The datapad lay broken on the table before her. Had someone been screaming? Was it her? She shook her head and slowly stood. It wasn't real. She wasn't there anymore. Kamarke was an admiral. She couldn't afford to be this." They had to get ready. More Borg would come. The Alliance was not prepared. She had to remember what her counselor had said. Breathe the life, the love from all around you, and know that you're safe. Breathe in, breathe out. The room swayed for just a moment, and then she was back. Her thoughts were her own again. She had to put a stop to this, get this fear out of her, and she had to get the Alliance ready. How could she do both at once? End quote. And my takeaway with this lore is that Kumarke here is just really afraid of the Borg and wants the Alliance to get ready. So we're going to be going into the holodeck and going up against Borg that are increasingly difficult from all the different universes, just to help us prepare for fighting them in future parts of the current storyline. And next up, we have the blog for the Captain Alteration token. A reminder, this is going to be dropping as part of the Unparalleled season, which is May 28th for those of us on PC, and for those of you over on console, that's going to be dropping around the middle of June. Now, the biggest surprise here is the cost. A single token is going to set you back 750 Zen, and there's going to be a 3-pack for 1500 Zen. And there's also going to be an introductory sale of 20% from May 28th up through June 11th. That's going to take this down to 600 Zen for a single token, or 1200 Zen or $12 for the 3-pack. So that is, I think, quite a bit cheaper than we were all expecting. I think there was quite a few of us expecting it to cost like 15 to $20 just for one of them. So a bit cheaper, and there's going to be a nice sale on them initially. And these are going to be something that will probably go to a 25% discount with future sales. So you can go ahead and pick them up with the initial sale. 20 versus 25% is not really that big of a deal at that price point. Now, for this token, there are some restrictions. The character must have completed the tutorial and picked a primary faction. You'll see a new option in the tailor that reads Change Species once you have one of these tokens. Click on that to start the process. The token will not be consumed until after you've finalized and confirmed your selections, so if you change your mind and back out, you'll still have the token, so that's good. The species list available to change to will be the same list that your faction has access to at character creation, and that will include any species that you may have unlocked with Zen Store purchases or in other ways, but you can't go and change from one faction to another. So if I pop the game back up here, what this means is you are still limited to whatever faction that you have chosen. So if you made a TOS Starfleet character, you're only going to be able to go to one of the other species that the TOS Starfleet has. But if you're playing on a different faction that has races that are unlocked via the C-Store, like the Dominion, for instance, if you have a normal Jem'Hadar character, then swapping that over to a Jem'Hadar Vanguard would be a pretty big deal, because the Vanguard have a really nice innate trait on them that is a nice buff over a standard Jem'Hadar. But it would also mean that if you're a lifetime member and you always wanted to go in and make a Talaxian character, those weren't introduced into the game until well after Delta Rising. So if you had a human from the start of the game and you wanted to swap it over to a Talaxian and you had that unlocked, then you could go in and do that because of this new token. And of course, if you want to swap over to Alien and get that extra personal space and ground trait slot, then that is an option for you. Now, there are some other things to note with this. When you apply the token and change the character, the system will do its absolute best to carry over all of your saved costumes. However, there are certain costumes that are not available on all characters, and there may be errors. If the system can't find a good way to copy a costume, it will return it to the default outfit. But it's important to keep in mind that this is a permanent process and there's no way to undo it. If you end up wanting to swap back to your previous gender and or species, you will have to spend another token, and the costume matching process will proceed as if you had been the new species or gender. So just keep that in mind. If you're going in and doing this, you're going to probably have some outfit slots that are mess with a bit, and you may have to go in and spend some time to fix up some of those outfits in the tailor. And because there is a difference with the number of traits between some of the options out there, for instance, the Alien have 11 personal ground and trait slots, everyone else has 10. So the other part of this is that it's going to deslot all of your traits when you use this token. you're not losing any of the traits that you have. It's just going in and doing the same thing you'd see if you were doing a respec on a character, where it's just going to deslot everything and you're going to have to go in and reslot all of your ground and space traits. So that's not the end of the world. It does mean that you're going to have to spend a little bit of time fixing some loadouts probably, but I would imagine most people are just going to be going through and using this token once. So I think for whatever you're going for, that's a trade-off that you can live with. And the final thing for this token is that it is just for your captain. It will not work on your bridge officers. So if you're wanting a different species or gender for your bridge officers, then you just have to get new ones. There's no way to use this token on them. And next up, for those of us on PC, the dilithium exchange backlog has been rapidly increasing over the past couple of weeks, and it does give the impression that we may be dealing with some bot farms interfering with the market once again. I talked about this last week, but if you look at the numbers that Joe and STO has been posting up on Twitter, the increases that we're seeing are some of the highest that we've seen in over a year. So we're seeing the DilEx rapidly increase. The upgrade weekend that we had about 2 weeks ago barely impacted the DilEx. And in the time since, we've seen it now go from about 800k in the backlog to now over 2 million. So the way the DilEx is going, it's going to be an increasingly long delay to get your dilithium converted over to Zen. And with how the sales have been recently, they've been doing a lot of flash sales that are only running for 2 days, and most of the weekend sales that they do only last for just under 4 days after the announcement. We're already seeing that the delays are already hitting 4 days. So if you're a free-to-play player trying to convert your dilithium over to Zen, it's very important that you go in and you get it posted as soon as possible here on PC. So I know nothing shows up under the buy Zen tab, but I assure you that it does still work. You just have to post it up at 500 lithium per Zen, whatever amount you're trying to sell, and you have to leave it there. And right now, the delay for that to go through is 4 days, meaning that if Cryptic, hypothetically, were to announce a bundle sale tomorrow on May 23rd, if you posted your dilithium right as they announced that sale, your dilithium is not going to be converted over to Zen by the time that sale ends with the current backlog that we have. So again, it's very important that if you're a free-to-play player trying to convert your dilithium over to Zen, that you go in and do that as soon as possible, because the backlog is just continuing to grow again, because it appears that some bot farms are operational. And with the current state of the development side of things, it's very unlikely we're going to see any of that addressed in the near future. And giveaway wise, there's another T6 coupon up for grabs for PC players in the CasualSAB Discord. Simply go to the giveaways channel and hit that blue party icon below the post to be entered for your chance to win. And for the prior T6 coupon, Lockland had won that. I tried to reach out to them, but I haven't heard a response yet. So Lockland, if you're listening, please check Discord and get back to me with your @handle. If I don't hear anything back from you by Sunday, May 26th, I'm going to have to draw a new winner. So please get back to me on Discord when you're able to. And as always, thank you to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. See you guys around.